Hi Scorpio, how you going? Weekly reading time. Okay, so this is for the week beginning March 31st into the first week of April. But remember that all time is fluid, so whenever you find yourself listening to this message is perhaps exactly when you need it the most. My intention is for healing, clarity, creative sparks, and confirmation for the souls out there that are looking for guidance at this time. So as an energy healer and intuitive reader, that is my simple intention. I also suggest that everyone explore their natal chart, okay? So that means that just because your sun sign is in Scorpio doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be resonating with some core messages this week. You might be looking more so at your rising sign, your Venus sign, your moon sign, all of which play a part in making up the multidimensional aspects of who you are, Scorpio. So just because the sun was in Scorpio at the time of your birth, you intuitively know a lot of this, okay? Your rising sign might be in another star, in another zodiac, which ultimately shows the world a completely different sort of essence, okay? We are multi-dimensional and we are magnificent. How are you feeling? I know a lot of people collectively are going through quite a lot at this time, finding themselves in introspection mode. A lot of the zodiacs this week are seeking some high confirmation and counsel. However, my attention, I'm just trying to remember, your reading last week was very specific about a connection, about a romantic connection. So depending on what frequencies I'm picking up on for the Scorpios out there will determine this reading. We'll see if it's a carry-on, hey? If there is installment number 2 for this exciting season that is Scorpio. We're not in Scorpio season, guys. You guys have had a good 2 years. A lot of growth. A lot of realizations and letting go. But I'm picking up on Scorpios right now, collectively, that are perhaps connecting into the deeper purposes behind everything that's going on and your purpose and path. Theme, compassion. This is Kuan Yin. What does compassion mean to you, Scorpio? Have compassion for yourself, for others. This is a time where you are able to connect into the energy of compassion, checking in on your loved ones, intuitively picking up on those that perhaps need compassion. Because everyone is reacting and responding to everything that's happening globally in quite unique, different ways. We're all, in one way or another, at a crossroads, choosing to react in survival mode, or we're responding with thought and compassion and higher visions of ultimately the best way forward. When none of us know what's going to happen next, you know, that does a lot of things to many people. It brings them to their core, their base reactions and humanity. So compassion is your theme this week, Scorpio. I'm wondering if you are needing more compassion for yourself, needing the reminder to have compassion for others that might not be dealing with things as you do, or might be dealing with things in their own unique way. This is a time and an invitation into compassion and looking at your journey with compassion. So having patience, okay? So if you are a bit frustrated because you're at home and you're unable to work, you're unable to achieve those goals you'd set out for yourself. I'm thinking there's some Scorpios out there that are a bit frustrated because plans have been thwarted, which, you know, Scorpio, that's actually been a big theme, understandably, for a lot of the zodiacs that we're doing readings for. A lot of people out there have been forced into isolation, and we're frustrated because that means that our beginnings, our projects, those new career paths, the savings plan is suddenly thwarted. Holidays, you know. Let's have a look, Scorpio, see what storylines I'm picking up on. Your storyline is either going to be between you and another, you and an opportunity, you and a challenge, you and your healing journey. Please know that the message might pertain to you, or it might pertain to the other party involved. So take what resonates, leave the rest. Some Scorpios are connecting into this chance and as an opportunity to connect into their health. Yoga, meditation, that one wants to jump. Definitely some career stuff going on here, and a review. Feeling conflicted, Scorpio, about an ending of something, a career path, a job opportunity, that steady savings plan, you know. Yeah. All right, big focus on finances here for the Scorpios I am picking up on. Underneath all this is the Page of Swords, communication, okay? Talking about it. So maybe you are waiting on word, okay? And I think that you will get that by the end of this week, Scorpio, or within the next 7 days of hearing this message, whatever the case may be. You are feeling like everything came crumbling down, or, you know, that big press pause that happened. This happened to all of us, Scorpio. I do see for the Scorpios I'm picking up on, you are very financially focused on creating longevity when it comes to your finances and kicking off or committing to this new chapter. It might have been an existing career. It might have been something you were wanting to work on, okay? I naturally see coins and I'm thinking finances, but that could be anything. That could be a commitment to work on something, relationship, opportunity, project, personal, creative project, okay? Take it however it resonates, Scorpio. But I do see that with the Tower here and the influence section, it's ultimately about everything coming down, okay? Feeling like we have to rebuild from the ground up, feeling like our long-term plans to build and create financial security has been knocked over. All right, I do feel like you're feeling like this is definitely transformative, okay? This is you, Scorpio. You are the Phoenix. Yeah, I know it's the Death card, but you know, in death we master the very... Who got the change card? That was Libra. In death we master the value of cycles and we accept endings and beginnings. I feel like you are in conflict though about the base of all this, the purpose of all this, and inviting you to compassion and connecting into compassion, seeing yourself from a compassionate view if you're feeling impatient, frustrated, angry, absolutely devastated that your plans have been thwarted or something has come to an end, okay? Definitely something has come to an end. However, you are the Phoenix rising, Scorpio. You have been through transformative times in your life before. This is but another one of those times. You have the skill and ability to pick your battles wisely. In love and war, if we choose our battles wisely, we will always have the energy to give 100% of ourselves, our focus, our inner knowing, to really see the path clearly, which is the gift of swords, okay? Swords are all about clarity of thought and perception. There's an opportunity for you to this week to put something to rest, to see the changing cycles as an opportunity to rise from the ashes, and you will, and to ultimately, let me just have a look. You are taking from this opportunity of whatever is of value to you. Okay, there's some value in here for some Scorpios that I'm connecting to. With the Moon card in the next position, in what's likely to happen next, I do want to issue a caution just to be mindful that just because you can't see the next 200 steps doesn't mean you can't see the next two. This is not a time for making fast decisions. I feel like you are waiting on confirmation and communication, Scorpio. Whether that pertains to money, finances, your financial security, your job, I feel that you feeling crushed and frustrated or in conflict with this ending is ultimately about just pausing, embrace compassion, do what nurtures you, meditate, take up yoga, fill your time with something else as you wait this out. Because that is the encouragement this week, is to wait this out for a little while. I feel like you are definitely going to get an offer, okay? There is an offer here. You might even be connecting into concern and worry and anger about a new opportunity that started, and now it's, you know, now it has been put on hold, all right, or it has ended because of finances and the company can't viably afford to keep you. I do want to say for Scorpios out there, then there is options around you when it comes to finances, when it comes to an ideal career. I am picking up on news or word communications that you might receive within the next 7 to 8 days about that fact. So put yourself out there, let friends know that you're looking. Is anyone hiring? Are there other ways that you can tangibly see yourself through in essential services perhaps? Or what are your finance options? Putting bills on pause. You know, there are financial opportunity is not about incoming. It's also about pausing the outgoing. It's also about readdressing the outgoing. This is a movement card. I know it's the Wands card. It's definitely a falling in love card as well. It's the Cupid card. However, this is incoming. All right. So there's something incoming. Messages, words, confirmation of your options when it comes to financial security. And something tangible that you can have moving forward, because I do feel like I'm connecting to Scorpios that are currently going, what the hell? I'm feeling quite conflicted about this ending, and I'm really not sure what happens next. So take heed, trust that all changes happen for a reason. There's an opportunity here to connect into compassion. If that is the case, take it one day at a time, Scorpio. And this is a typical Scorpio thing, is to really connect into the depths and out. And, you know, you do sort of want that bigger vision for everything. And if I do this, it's going to lead to that because it's going to get me there. We are now in times where it's perhaps not, that's really not possible. We are taking it one day at a time. We are using our intuition, connecting to your intuition, Scorpio. About what is valuable here for you at this time. I do want to say, which I didn't mention at the start, the past is relevant here. So I think I did actually mention that, sorry Scorpio, that you've been here before. You've been through times in your life where sudden changes and endings have happened, where you've had to rise from the ashes of major endings and transformative times. Someone from your past has perhaps recently so for other Scorpios, you're speaking or wanting to speak to someone from your past in relation to conflict or something that wasn't able to stabilize. So this is in the realms of love, Scorpio. You're able to get some clarity ultimately about what you were unsure of before. So if there was some, you know, and when we all find ourselves in isolation, so this is just a particular storyline I'm picking up on, when we all find ourselves in isolation, there's lots of time to think, Scorpio. So people are reaching out to each other online, and you might be Facebook friends and haven't talked for a long time and wanted to touch base, or, you know, it's that sort of vibe. Hey, I never really saw things out with that person, or it just, work got in the way, or something got in the way. It wasn't able to be built. Okay, so I do see communications around an ending, around a time that was perhaps conflicting for you in relation to the realms of love, in relation to a past connection, a person from your past, someone from your childhood. This could also be family. It's not just about romantic connections. This time of isolation is a great time for all of us to really find compassion when it comes to those past experiences that were ultimately fraught with conflict. We're able to communicate and talk things out with those from our past that we ultimately have always wanted some leveling and clearing with. You know, we might not have wanted that ending the way it ended. All right, that's relevant for some Scorpios out there. Let's see what else the tarot wants to say. Yeah, communication with the Page of Swords, okay? The Sun, clarity. All right, here we go. The tarot card, the Moon, was there before, wording you, cautioning you to be careful and to take it a day at a time, okay? Because in the moonlight, we can only see a couple of steps in front. Our eyes aren't adjusted. It's darkness, okay? We're under the moonlight. We have to ultimately use our intuition to guide us through our path. But under the sunlight, there's a lot of clarity. What's coming in for you? There's news, Scorpio. There's news here, communication, messages, that ultimately that's going to create clarity. The sun is life force. It's vitality. You're going to, I do feel like I'm talking to Scorpios that are actually worried about finances and their career, their money. You're going to get some clarity within the next 7 to 8 days, okay? This is also words of love from loved ones, clarity around those relationships I talked about earlier, about people from the past that you're perhaps not right with and you want to square away, you want to heal, bring compassion to those relationships. There's clarity here, recognition from others, okay? Recognition, spiritual healing in the Temperance card. That is the gift, it's the balancing of compassion and not having compassion with regards to circumstances, past or current, okay? There's spiritual balancing in the opportunity that's available to you this week, Scorpio, around losses. There are definitely Scorpios that are genuinely worried about their losses and financial losses pertaining to where they live, whether it's you're finding it hard to pay the rent because you've just suddenly lost your job. How am I going to hang on to, talking to the banks about your mortgage, that sort of thing, Scorpio, and getting crystal clear. The Queen of Swords is the ultimate. There's no stuffing around with her. She knows who she is. She knows what she wants. She communicates clearly. Okay, I do feel like emotionally you are in a time where you are feeling a little bit conflicted right now. The key ingredient is compassion, trusting the journey. That clarity will come the more you sort of disconnect from your stresses and your concerns, your anger at the situation that has ultimately come crumbling down. And that naturally brings you into this clarity space, which is confirmed by the Queen of Swords. Being able to communicate your truth clearly, who you are, what you need, what you want, what you're unable to do at this time, what you won't put up with, what you will forgive, okay, Scorpio? Embracing the Queen of Swords is brings us up to that logical realm, and people take her seriously. Whether you're a man or a woman, the Queen of Swords essence, she doesn't put up with shit. Okay, and I don't think you will either after this week. You're going to get clear though. But it's about coming from that mental realm, using your creativity, Scorpio, rather than getting to the depths of that, what emotions can do to us, okay? All water signs know what the emotional body can do. It takes us to those places. This week, it's actually about creatively swimming up from the ashes, rising from the ashes, okay, into mental clarity about your path and options moving forward. You've got options ahead, okay? I do see there's even going to be one option for some Scorpios out there. It's not going to look like the most shiniest for you. You're wanting to you're going to feel like you're at a loss financially, sure. There might be money that is replaced, for example, or a supplement that doesn't equate to what you did have, okay? I do want to encourage you then, if that resonates for you, Scorpios, don't deny an opportunity. This experience in itself is an opportunity for all of us to really go within. And I know I can see here for the Scorpios I'm connecting to, you're very much focused on, okay, Ali, it's not practical because I've just lost my job, and I get that. We're all in the same boat in many ways, okay? I do want to say don't get too caught up in the sense of loss that you miss an opportunity, Scorpio. There's going to be a gift. There's an opportunity here this week for you somehow. Lots of communications around that too, which helps you ultimately define your boundaries and truly assess your financial situation. I'm definitely picking up on Scorpios that are genuinely worried about how to pay the mortgage, the bills, it's career and money focused for sure. Okay? That retreat time, the retreat away from the depths of your emotions and anger about this, Scorpio, embracing compassion brings clarity, ultimately, engaging in what nourishes you and your well-being. I keep seeing someone that, meditate, do yoga, burn off that energy. If you've got a partner, spend some time in the bedroom, burning it off. You're good at that. You know what I mean. Okay, so it's this week offers clarity. This week offers communications that ultimately bring you good news that you've been waiting on. I do see you're at a crossroads of this crisis right now where you're really questioning stability and finances moving forward, but I do strongly feel that there are options for you not only to receive incoming but also review your outgoing, okay? So communicate, which will ultimately you do get to that point this week. All right, Scorpio, compassion is your theme. All right, my dear, thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next week.